Have you ever wondered what it's like to go on a transatlantic cruise? Well, let's dive into my experience on the P&O Britannia as we cross the Atlantic on a journey from Barbados to Southampton. I'll share some tips to help you decide if a transatlantic cruise is for you. One of the best parts of a transatlantic cruise is, of course, the destinations you get to visit along the way. On the P&O Britannia, we stopped at some truly stunning ports, and each one had something different to offer. I flew into Barbados from Birmingham and went straight to the ship. If I had my time again, I would book the 15-night cruise so that I had a day in Barbados before the cruise departed. The sail away was beautiful as the ship glides past the vibrant capital of Bridgetown with its historic colonial architecture and bustling port. Next stop was St. Lucia, and one of the highlights of my stop in St. Lucia was a visit to the stunning Redoute beach. If you're looking for that perfect Caribbean beach experience, this is the place to be. Redoute Beach is famous for its long stretch of powdery white sand and calm turquoise waters, ideal for swimming and soaking up the sun. The beach has plenty of amenities, including sun loungers, umbrellas, and beachside bars, where you can grab a refreshing drink or a bite to eat. There are plenty of shops in the port, and worth leaving some time after your trip around the island to wander around. And don't forget to head to Rum Therapy for a drink. It was a very popular place, but the rum is strong. As we sailed away from St. Lucia, the views were nothing short of spectacular. Watching the island's dramatic landscape, with its towering pitons and lush green hills, disappear into the horizon is something not to be missed. And there is nothing better than having the warm Caribbean breeze watching the sun setting with a cocktail in your hand. It is one of my favorite things about cruising, and is certainly one of the highlights of the transatlantic cruise. Our next port of call was St. Kitts. There are quite a few shops in port, and it's worth having a look around, whether after a shore excursion or just wandering off the ship for an hour or two. I had booked a day pass to Palm Court Garden Hotel for a chill. It's easy to get a taxi from port to there, and I booked it via TripAdvisor. It had great views of Britannia and was a nice way to spend the day relaxing by the pool. The sail away again was amazing. Our last port of call in the Caribbean was Antigua, and it was my favorite island. I booked a private trip around the island, which included a visit to historic Nelson's Dockyard, then headed up to Shirley Heights for the most breathtaking panoramic views of Antigua and the ocean beyond. I also got to spend some time at Valleys Church Beach. Valleys Church Beach in Antigua is a true hidden gem, offering the perfect blend of tranquility and beauty. The beach's calm, crystal-clear waters are ideal for swimming and snorkeling, while the soft, powdery sand invites you to relax and soak up the Caribbean sunshine. Framed by lush greenery and gentle rolling hills, the beach provides a stunning backdrop for a peaceful day by the sea. Whether you're lounging under a palm tree with a cocktail in hand or taking a dip in the warm, inviting waters, Valleys Church Beach is the perfect escape to experience the natural beauty of Antigua. Antigua was the perfect end to the Caribbean part of the transatlantic cruise. But it's not just the destinations that make a transatlantic cruise unforgettable, it's the days at sea as well. And you have to enjoy sea days if you are thinking of booking a transatlantic cruise. As once you leave Antigua, you don't get to see land until you reach the Azores. Sailing for 5 days across the Atlantic from Antigua to Ponta Delgada on the P&O Britannia is an unforgettable journey. As you leave the warmth of the Caribbean, the ship heads northeast, crossing vast stretches of open ocean. The route covers over 2,400 miles, with the trade winds giving way to cooler breezes as you approach Europe. In March, the weather is still pleasantly warm as you depart Antigua, but the days become gradually cooler as you head toward the Azores. Expect daytime temperatures in the mid-20s degrees Celsius, 70 degrees Fahrenheit in the Caribbean, dropping to around 16 to 18 degrees Celsius, 60 degrees Fahrenheit as you near Ponta Delgada. The seas can vary, being calm and serene at times, though the Atlantic's reputation for occasional rough patches holds true. especially during March or October when the Transatlantic Repositioning Cruises occur. These sea days offer the perfect opportunity to unwind, enjoy the ship's many amenities, and take in endless ocean views as you make your way to the rugged beauty of the Azores. The 5 days at sea can feel long if you're someone who needs to be active, but I personally loved it. There was plenty to do on board, from soaking up the sun to guest speakers, quizzes, and entertainment. But I love nothing better than switching off and reading a book, so it was ideal for me. One of my favorite places to relax on board was in the Serenity Pool, which is adults only. But I also enjoyed spending time by the main pools with its buzzing atmosphere and music. I never had a problem getting a sunbed on Britannia's Transatlantic cruise, unlike on Avia recently. The benefits of flying into Barbados and sailing back to Southampton is that you don't get jet lag. You lose an hour every day as the ship's clocks turn back each night. However, it does get cooler every day. So if you prefer for the weather to get warmer, you may consider the Transatlantic from Southampton to Barbados. The Atlantic can be rough at times, so if you're prone to seasickness, be prepared. We had one day where the seas were rough, but the P&O Britannia coped well with the weather. However, you might be lucky and have beautiful weather all the way. It didn't spoil the transatlantic cruise for me, as it was a chance to unwind, enjoy the ship's amenities, and truly relax. And I enjoyed watching the high waves. There is something quite mesmerizing about it. Another plus point of the transatlantic cruise is the stop in the Azores, somewhere you are unlikely to visit otherwise. Pont de la Garda was a beautiful place to walk around, and it was an easy walk from the ship to the middle of the city. The city itself boasts charming cobblestone streets, whitewashed buildings, and historic landmarks. We then had another 3 days at sea before arriving in Southampton. The final leg of the journey from Ponta Delgada to Southampton takes you across the North Atlantic over 3 days at sea. As the ship sails northeast, you'll leave behind the volcanic landscapes of the Azores and head toward the cooler, more temperate waters of Northern Europe. In March, the weather becomes noticeably cooler, with temperatures around 14 to 16 degrees Celsius, 50 to 60 degrees Fahrenheit, and the winds pick up as you approach the English Channel. The seas can be a little choppier in this stretch, but the experience of crossing these legendary waters feels both adventurous and peaceful. With plenty of time to enjoy the onboard amenities, whether it's relaxing in the spa, enjoying a show, or taking in the ocean views from the top decks, these sea days offer a quiet transition from the wild beauty of the Atlantic to the bustling port of Southampton. We were still able to sit out in the sun until the last day, so that was a bonus. I was totally relaxed by the time we reached Southampton. It was one of the most relaxing holidays I have been on. It's a great combination of seeing new places and soaking up the sun. And crossing the Atlantic is an experience in itself. It is a bucket list adventure. Transatlantic cruises often happen during what's known as repositioning, where cruise lines move their ships between the Caribbean and Europe to align with the different cruise seasons. During the winter, many ships operate in the Caribbean to take advantage of the tropical climate, while in the summer, they reposition to Europe for Mediterranean and Northern Europe itineraries. These repositioning cruises are typically longer, offering plenty of sea days, and often come at a great value. Because they're one-way trips and help the cruise line move ships from one region to another, the prices are generally lower than typical cruises. This makes them an affordable way to enjoy a luxurious voyage with extended onboard experiences and visits to unique ports along the way. P&O Britannia is one of my favorite ships. It is not as big as Avia and Iona, but there is plenty of deck space and didn't feel as crowded as Avia. The entertainment was great, and the food options were good. Epicurean was the only disappointment for me. It was a bit bland and didn't feel that special. But I loved the beach house, and the waiters in the main dining room were so friendly. Would I book another transatlantic cruise? Yes is the answer. I'd like to try sailing from Southampton to Barbados next time. Have you been on a transatlantic cruise or would you like to? Which route do you prefer, sailing from Barbados to Southampton or Southampton to Barbados? Let me know in the comments which you prefer, whether you're drawn to the relaxation of days at sea or the excitement of exploring new islands. This cruise has it all. If you enjoyed the video, don't forget to give it a thumbs up, subscribe, and hit the notification bell so you never miss out on more travel adventures.